From his ridiculous long-range threes to his nail-biting clutch shots, Damian Lillard has solidified himself as an NBA superstar. We've all seen how he can impact the game in so many ways. That's why today, it's hard to imagine any team passing up on Dame and his talents. But that wasn't always the case. There used to be a time when teams weren't interested in him, and fans didn't think he was something special. So how exactly did he turn himself from an unknown talent to one of the biggest stars in the NBA today? As a high school freshman, Dame joined his school's basketball team in San Lorenzo, California, despite being a skinny 5'5" kid. However, it wasn't until his junior year when he transferred to Oakland High School before he was finally given significant minutes on the court. He wasted no time and impressed everyone right away. Lillard averaged 19.4 points and made it to the first team All-League that year. His senior year was even better, where he dropped 22.4 points per game while dishing out 5.2 assists. Showing that he can play not only as a scorer, but as a floor general as well. He was once again named first team All-League, and there was no denying that this kid was something special. Despite that, he didn't get a lot of scholarship offers from colleges, and scouts often overlooked him. A lot of people thought he was a risky choice because despite his skills and abilities, he was skinny and didn't have the physique of an ideal basketball player. Fortunately, Weber State recruited him, and it wasn't long until they saw that they made the right decision. During Lillard's freshman year at Weber, he immediately became one of their best players, averaging 11.5 points with 2.9 assists, while helping his team claim the regular season championship. That year, he was named as the 2008-2009 Big Sky Rookie of the Year. He quickly became one of the best point guards in college basketball, and made a lot of other schools regret their decision to ignore him. During his sophomore year, he exploded and dropped 20 points and 3.6 assists per game. He was Weber's best player by a huge margin, and at this point, fans saw that he was good enough to be drafted in the NBA. However, he decided to play in college for 4 years to polish his game further. He was extremely talented already, but this decision allowed him to refine his game to a whole new level. And by his senior year, he was tallying 24.5 points and 4 assists per game. He became an elite shooter, draining 41% on 7.2 attempts from downtown. His efficiency was also impressive at 46.7%, and he did this while handling his point guard duties well. And just like that, the two-star recruit out of high school became one of the top prospects in the 2012 NBA draft. And yet, despite winning multiple awards during his college career and being one of the most talented players in his NBA draft class, he didn't have a lot of hype around him. A lot of people knew he was good, but not in a way that makes him stand out above the rest. He was drafted 6th overall by the Portland Trail Blazers, a team who didn't have a lot of success during the previous season. Fans weren't expecting much from both Dame and the Blazers, but Lillard shocked the league by having one of the best rookie years in the modern NBA era. He averaged 19 points and 6.5 assists in his first NBA season and was unanimously named as the Rookie of the Year in 2013. They might have missed the playoffs that year, but with Dame showing us a glimpse of his potential and all-star teammate LaMarcus Aldridge just about to enter his prime, the future was bright for Portland. The following year, Lillard continued to impress the league, and he was selected as an All-Star for the first time. Not just that, he helped lead the Blazers to a successful 54-win season, placing them 5th in the Western Conference and qualifying them for the playoffs. In the first round, they were up against the Houston Rockets led by the duo of James Harden and Dwight Howard. This was going to be a competitive series, but a lot of people expected the Rockets to come out on top for a number of reasons. First, despite being an all-star, Dame was just a sophomore player who didn't have any playoff experience, as compared to Harden and Howard, who both reached the NBA Finals at one point in their careers. Second, they doubted the Blazers because for the past decade, they had the history of either missing the postseason or losing in the very first round whenever they made it. People weren't expecting a lot from them. That is until this happened. This play sent shockwaves across the NBA. For a player as young as he is, to drain a series-ending shot was spectacular. The way he confidently asked for the ball and made the game-winning shot showed us that he's not just any other all-star, but a superstar in the making. This was a historic bucket for both Dame and the Blazers. Not only did Portland advance to the second round for the first time since the year 2000, but this was when the NBA began to take Lillard more seriously. It gave us a picture of who he was, as insane clutch shots like this became a staple of his game. He proved that he's a player that's not afraid to step up in big moments. They might have lost against the soon-to-be champs San Antonio Spurs in the second round, but the message was clear. The Portland Trail Blazers were going to be a dangerous team in the coming years. The following season, Dame's performance got even better, and the Blazers' regular season was a success once again. Unfortunately, they were quickly eliminated by Memphis, an elite defensive team, during the first round of the playoffs. This was during the time when the Western Conference was tough and ridiculously competitive. Lillard and Aldridge were a talented duo, but the rest of the team wasn't good enough. For them to have a chance at the NBA Finals, they had to either add more depth or sign another All-Star to form a trio. But things changed quickly when Aldridge joined the Spurs during the 2015 offseason. Portland's lack of firepower got even worse when Dame was left as the only All-Star on the roster. In a time when the West was filled with multiple championship contenders, Aldridge's departure affected not just the Blazers, but Lillard's career as well. He was the only All-Star teammate Dame ever had throughout his entire career, even until today. On the bright side, CJ McCollum's massive improvement during the 2015-16 season gave Lillard much-needed help. Although he wasn't an All-Star, CJ's elite offensive skills allowed him to form a lethal backcourt duo with Dame. Both of them were capable of dropping at least 20 points per game, and they had great chemistry without stepping on each other's toes. Despite being the only All-Star on the team, Lillard led the Blazers to the 5th seed. They even went to the second round of the playoffs after eliminating the Clippers in 6 games. Unfortunately, they were swept by a historic Golden State team who won 73 games in the regular season. This became the picture of his career season after season, an all-NBA caliber player on a team that's not good enough to reach the finals. But this didn't stop him from exploding for the next few years. His best season so far was during the 2019-20 season, where he averaged a mind-blowing 30 points and 8 assists per game. He was carrying the Blazers' offense both as a scorer and as a facilitator. However, Lillard is at his best when the game is on the line late in the fourth quarter. The phrase Dame time was coined by Portland fans to describe how he often puts on a show in crunch time when the team needs him the most. If they need a bucket to save the game, his teammates, his coaches, and his fans know they can always count on him. For his opponents, they know that when he's on the floor, no lead is safe. But amidst all the praises and admiration he's getting, him being the only All-Star on his team is one of the major reasons why he's yet to experience an NBA Finals appearance. But as a silver lining, this gave him a lot of opportunities to show us what he's made of. Dame almost single-handedly made the Blazers exciting to watch, especially in recent years. Very few players are capable of making such an impact on their teams while being the only All-Star on the roster. The lack of team success didn't prevent him from becoming one of the biggest names in the NBA today. That's how he was able to cement himself as one of the most exciting superstars in basketball today. Because of this, Dame earned the respect of both the fans and the players. On top of that, his decision to stay with Portland in an era where super teams can be formed easily is the reason why Blazers fans love him. To honor his achievements, the NBA included him in the top 75 players of all time. Some people think it's still too early for him to be included on the list. But nobody can deny that he's one of the best players to ever suit up in the modern NBA. Today, Damian Lillard is still one of the best point guards in the league. He might be starting to get up in age, but there's still a lot left in his tank. It's still possible for him to win a championship, but regardless of what happens, the former 2-star recruit will forever be a legend, both in Portland and in the NBA. So what do you guys think? Do you think Lillard will ever be able to win a championship? Do you think his loyalty was worth it? Let us know in the comments below. Damian Lillard has an impressive story to stardom, but so does the Joker himself. If you guys want to find out how he turned himself from an overweight kid to the NBA MVP, be sure to click this next video on your screen. Go ahead and click it. It's free.